you're not talking about
I'm
Wendy's.
not saying any of the names.
Not McDonald's.
Oh my goodness.
Burger King? I'm keeping Chick-fil-A. Man. But yeah,
Oh my
they're all over the
gosh.
place.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And when we were younger, y'all remember,
Yes.
we cooked. You know, our moms cooked. We ate at home. We didn't go out and, you know, come home with a bag and bust it open and say
And whatever's in the pot was what was going to be in the pot.
That's
and what
right.
she was going to
and if
eat.
you didn't eat it, you
Except
didn't,
some.
you know,
My
you
wife,
were hungry.
My wife got to choose every night what she wanted.
Oh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But then I took advantage of it once I married her because whenever her mom would still do whatever I wanted, it didn't matter what she's cooking. If I wanted something different, she'll cook that. So I took advantage of that privilege.
Yes, that's good. That's
But yeah, you're right.
awesome.
Go continue with the fast food. Change of habits, you said. Or you said it's not going to be easy.
It's not. It's not going to be easy. I mean, there's so many and different ways that our bodies are attacked with just really bad, harmful things for us. The food that we eat. I touched on fast food.
Yes.
The water that we drink, you know, is bad for us. You can't go and turn your tap water on and get a glass of water and drink it. I mean, you can, but you're going to pay
You're not getting
for it.
You're not getting from water what you're supposed to get from water.
Right, and you're getting from water what you shouldn't be getting from water, because there's some stuff that's in the water that you should not be.
Is that right?
Consuming.
I don't think I want to know, kid. But now you're gonna tell me I gotta get up water.
I know, right?
I'm thinking, man, this may be a little harder than I thought at the beginning of the show. Like, man.
With these herbs, it's a lifestyle change. You
Yes.
need to drink a good, healthy, clean water, like distilled water. There's distilled water. There is
Now let me ask you this.
reverse osmosis
It's
water.
distilled water. I've heard it doesn't have anything in it.
It has no minerals.
All the minerals are out of it.
Now, you can put salt in it.
Okay.
Himalayan pink salt, you can use that just a little bit. There is a thing, my husband can't stand it. It's called,
Mrs. Rainbow, hold on, Mrs. Rainbow. Mrs. Rainbow, hold on. You're saying I can buy distilled water. I've heard that the minerals are all out of it.
Right.
You're saying I can put it in it, and you're saying put Himalayan salt. So I got to drink salt water now? Like,
Well,
I mean, the taste of water.
That is a good thing, a good way to put minerals. There's a way to make
So there's a lot of minerals in
mineral
Himalayan
water.
salt, you're saying?
Yes, there's a way to make mineral water.
Is that right?
And it's going to have a little saltiness to it.
Oh,
It
okay.
is going to have a little saltiness to it.
Okay.
And you can put, lemon in your water. You can put salt in your water. And it's your preference.
You mean
but
in the distilled water?
in the distilled water.
Do
'cause
you-
it doesn't have any
Do
minerals.
you have any, not necessarily for the branding, but do you have any recommendation of what do you buy any water other than distilled?
We get distilled. We get
Is there any other type of water that is
purified, and it should be. There's spring water. They say it's better for you, but
doesn't taste too hot?
it doesn't taste too hot.
Okay, when you say purified, is that something you can buy?
You can buy it. Kroger has it. I'm sorry, did I say that?
Okay, well, I mean, that's we ain't got no choice with Kroger. I mean, that's the only thing around, barely.
Right.
Like, because I buy bottled water a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and what you're saying, let me ask you this. Whether it's top water, bottled water, or any of the water that you said don't have what it's supposed to have in it, you did say sometimes it has things it's not supposed to have in it. Is the average...
I was talking about the
tap water.
Tap water.
Okay. But if you buy Dasani, if you buy Aquafina, if you buy some of those, are you hurting yourself? Or are you just fooling yourself that you think you're getting what you should and you're not?
First of all, they're in plastic bottles.
Okay, that's that part of it.
That's
okay.
that part of it. And there may be some stuff in it that shouldn't be in there, but it's still, overall, I prefer that over the tap
Oh, okay,
water.
I see what you're saying.
I prefer that over the tap water because it doesn't have there's fluoride, chlorine, there's stuff in the water
The
that...
fluoride is supposed to be good for you, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, no.
I tell you,
Another
man,
thing, it's not. It's not good.
I don't...
You shouldn't have fluoride in your
I should just go crawl under a rock and die.
You should not do fluoride toothpaste.
Is that right?
It is not good for you.
Guys, you didn't hear this from me. You heard this from Mrs. Rainbow. Her husband is named Terrence. I'm not telling you not to brush your teeth anymore. And I'm not telling you to give up water and take tequila. I've heard that before.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Tom's is a good one that doesn't have the fluoride in it.
Tom's what?
Toothpaste.
Tom's toothpaste.
And it's a little more expensive, but it's better for you.
Another thing, like what happens, at least what I do, and I know there's going to be people that watch this that do the same thing. You know, a lot of times you hear something and then you go Google it and check it out. And what I like about that is some people are negative on Wikipedia. I understand why they are, because you could change Wikipedia. But everybody's not sitting around looking to change stuff about fluoride in Wikipedia.
Right.
So there's some things that you can look and learn, and it just gives you some more knowledge.
Yes.
So yeah, some people's gonna say, "Oh, I've been using toothpaste for years. You want me to use toothpaste?" Well, there's a reason why you might not want to.
Right.
You know, and again, there's things like lead. How many years was paint lead, and before they found out it was bad, that people all had lead. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean it's correct. But there's a reason why there's so many sicknesses.
Yes.
And as people have said to me, and I've read it and I understand it now, that the health system, the pharmaceutical companies are there to treat, not to cure.
Right.
Or
Right.
to mask symptoms, not to take away the problem. So it goes to figure that when we get sick from all these things, we may think it's okay because we've been doing it. That's because we went to the doctor and they prescribed something.
Yes.
And so when they prescribe something, if you keep doing what you're not supposed to be doing, they keep getting a paycheck every time you go to the store and you buy the Tylenol, every time you go get the Motrin, when you could have got Bladderwrack and CMOS.
Right.
You're buying ibuprofen for inflammation. You've taken Bladderwrack and CMOS.
Yes.
Let me ask you this though. If I break an ankle and they decide to give me ibuprofen for the inflammation, should I take it for that? Or should I maybe take more Bladderwrack?
If you're in pain, you better take that ibuprofen.
Okay. Well, let me just say this. Let me ask you this. That was an example, and you're right. I understand you're not going to tell somebody not to do what the doctor says. But what I mean, though, is a lot of times they give it to you and say, take it if you think you need it. Say I don't want to take it, then I have the right not to.
That's right.
But because I don't take drugs, and I have an herbalist now, I don't need a doctor. No, I'm just saying. But I have an herbalist now, and I ask you, my leg is swelled. And then is there something I can do? Would you say, take a little more of your CMOS and Bladderwrack? That's good for inflammation. That may help.
That may help.
Is
but
that something?
what I would probably do is get something for you, especially for that. There are occasions.
So there are some kind of things that
special things just for that particular thing.
Okay, good deal. That's what I was just wondering. It's just a question because I heard how bad ibuprofen is for you. The doctor that talked about the iodine was talking about how bad ibuprofen, and I got people in my family that they think that ibuprofen is like water.
Yes, and it's not. I used to take ibuprofen, and it gave me horrible migraines. I mean, it really, and I believe it did some damage to my liver at one point.
Yeah, they say that. Yeah, they do say that.
It's bad. It messes with your liver.
So, okay, I just wanted to know that. Let's continue with the pancreas health.
Pancreas health. I wanted to read this to you.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
So, first of all, before I read it, it has Jamina Silvestri.
Okay.
Now, this is my husband's favorite. My husband,
I know her too.
He took this. Jesus. She's a nice person.
Yeah. Okay. Jamina Silvestri.
Jamina Silvestri.
Okay.
What this does, it takes away the desire for sweets. It deters that craving.
Yeah, that craving for sweet. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Which makes sense.
And that's
because we're dealing with insulin.
That's
we're talking
one
about
of
sugar.
the herbs in here. That's
okay.
one of the herbs in here.
Nice.
And my husband tried it. He tried it just by itself. And okay, this man, he loved donuts. I mean, give me donuts, give me sweets, give me sweets. He ate food so that he can have sweets. He didn't care about, I got to eat dinner. Right. Okay, but then I get to eat sweets after.
Right. Got to get to have dessert.
Yes. I mean, now me, I can't, if I eat sweets before I eat a meal, it would make me sick. It would bother my stomach. Right. But he can eat all the sweets he wants. Yes. He loves sweet. Well, he got to a point where he said, it's not good for me. I don't want to do this anymore. Yes. And he started taking Jamina Silvestri.
Now, how did he know about the Jamina and Silvestri? He already knew ahead of time what it did?
My teacher.
Oh, okay.
His name is Herbalist Kareem 4 Cycles of Life.
Okay.
That's who I studied under.
Good deal. That's fine.
He,
Let people know who he
he
is.
did a video on how to stop sweet cravings.
Okay.
And my husband said, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I want to try that. So we ordered it. He tried it. And I mean, what was it? A couple days, I think it was. And it was a week.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even deal with sweets.
Is
Had no
that
desire
right?
for them. And he did try to eat. And it just made his
Is that
stomach.
right?
It just, ugh. So that's a good thing about this. And
So I'm
with,
gonna add that to my list.
and with the pancreas, you know, you can't do the sweets. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
right.
That's a big problem. So let me read this to you. A liver and blood cleanser. We need our blood cleansed. We need our livers clean. That supports healthy blood sugar levels. Herbs and vitamins that help improve glucose metabolism, circulation, and vitality. So also a good product.
So we've talked about our thyroid and what bladderwrack and sea moss can do, the other things with inflammation. It also dealt with mucus, which are 2 big things right away. It did some other things. I talked about how the thyroid regulates other organs within your body. So keeping that thyroid healthy is ultimate. No different. It's just as important, because most people think the most important organ is your heart, which it is one of the most important. But there are other just as important glands in your brain and your nervous system, all those things. But the thyroid is one that's not talked about a lot.
It isn't.
But we find, and what's happened is we usually find out about it when it's too late.
Yes.
Meaning there's something wrong with it, is why now you have this problem. And it's almost too hard to recreate the process to then make it healthy, which you should. But what damage has been done sometimes can't be dealt with. So what we'll do is we're going to park. We've done the thyroid, a little bit about bladderwrack and sea moss. We talked about pancreas health. You've also told us about Candida free. We found out that Candida free is Candida. Candida free eliminates Candida, which is a type of strand of yeast that can cause infection, urinary infection, genital infections. So we know that we would want that also, because what else did that do? You said it
got rid of
the
worms.
immune system. Got rid of worms
Parasites.
and parasites and things like that. So it's a cleanse.
It's a cleanse.
Okay, so we have Candida free, which we know is a cleanse and helps with getting rid of Candida, which is a strain of yeast. We got pancreas health. We know that the pancreas, part of it regulates our insulin, or produces insulin. And diabetics need to listen to that and understand about their pancreas and make it healthy. And this is what these herbs do. And so this would be a good product for that. Next, I would anything else you want to add to that before I go on to the next herb, product?
Yeah, that's it.
You talked about immunity FTS last time, and you talked about pressure down and circulation up. But immunity S, pretty much immunity FTS, immunity from the source. It's pretty self-explanatory. It helps your immune system. And you went into detail before. If you need to go in detail, we'll do that last. But I want you to talk a little bit more about this pressure down, circulation up, because I didn't quite understand what you get from it, or what it is, and how it works, or what it does for you.
Okay, pressure down, circulation up. It deals with the heart. It's with the cardiovascular system. It deals with circulation. And together the heart, blood, and blood vessels make up the circulatory system. The circulatory system is where the body sends blood. It transports the blood throughout the rest of the body. It delivers oxygen and nutrients to cells so they can convert them to energy. The pressure down, circulation up, it helps to prevent your heart from working so hard. It helps to prevent the pressures of your heart, with your pulse, and when you do your blood pressure, the top number, the bottom number, depending on what they are. This helps to calm those down and bring them back to normality.
Okay.
Now, my understanding, my husband and I were talking this morning about how when they did a lot of the testing, the tests are based on Europeans.
Oh, okay.
Tests,
like everything.
And we are different
Yes.
than Europeans.
Yes.
So we need some doctors to do some testing on us to see what's the right blood pressure for us. What's the right
Yes.
cholesterol for
Our
us.
makeup. What is
Our makeup?
Yeah. It again, it makes sense. We just don't follow through, and we have so many different problems and issues within our community from the oppression that we've experienced.
Yes.
That we feel that the things that are out there are more important. So if you're fighting for a job, if you're fighting for rights, if you're fighting just to be treated equally, if you're fighting just to be able to get health care, if you're fighting just to be able to get a doctor,
Right.
then those other things don't.
They don't matter.
But that's the reason why we need black doctors.
Yes.
Because a black doctor would, if he's seen that at all, that there's a difference in our structure, if there's a difference in our makeup, in our genealogy, or from our genealogy, things that have happened to us, or from where we are from. They said a lot of the things that happened with us came from what our ancestors, the stress they went through, and that it was given to the kids. Through the moms were in so much stress, and that's a layman. That's a and that's a layman's terms of what I heard somebody say. But it's very important. It's no different than one of the easiest ways to know that is if you look at a height and weight standard scale. Very few black people fit in that standard of a healthy weight to your height measurement, and that ratio is so different consistently for those of color.
Yes.
Because there are things about us that are different, no different than our hair, than a European's hair, than an Asian's hair, than the Asian hair compared to an Egyptian, Arab's hair.
Yes.
Eyes, color. Like there's things that are just different.
Yes.
We're all human. We all have eyes. We all have hair.
Yes.
They're just different. And so that's what you're saying, that a high blood pressure for some could have to do with your ethnicity.
Yes.
Could be a little higher, so it's not necessarily high. It's actually normal.
It's normal. Yes.
And nobody has taken the time to do that, because first of all, to take the time to do something like that, first you have to care.
That's true.
And we are the last to be cared about.
Yes.
From the youth on up. And then you have to have the expertise. We don't always get a chance to acquire the expertise,
Right.
From all these things. And so again, what happens a lot of times when you're fighting for certain rights, when you're fighting for equality, it's not just for things that that's generally thought of a job. Why do we need black doctors? Why do we need that lawyer's just fine? Yeah, that lawyer's just fine, but that lawyer has his community that he thinks about first.
Yes. I call them nations.
Go ahead.
We, black people, all of us that have slave ancestors,
Yes.
we are a nation. And if you look in the Bible, the Most High speaks of nations. He doesn't say this person, that person, this person, that person, or these people. He calls them nations.
Yes.
And we are still, regardless of what we want to change it to,
We're nations.
in his eyes, we are still a nation.
Yes.
And we are the most hated nation
Yes.
on this planet.
Yes. To some extent.
To some extent.
Outwardly. And I say that to say, not necessarily that we're not hated. I mean, that's a correct statement. But what I mean is, what you find out is, our culture's all over.
It has to
And
be.
everything that everybody has come from our culture.
Yes.
So they really like our culture.
They love that
They really like us.
They love the culture.
They just don't want to share anything.
Right.
They just don't want to give what belongs to us.
Right.
And I want to stay in here a little bit, and this may seem like I'm taking a turn, but I'm really not. You've heard of the movement. I call it a movement now, but it's only a modern movement that's happening now. But in my opinion, it's just a basic thing. But it's called the ADOS movement. I don't know if you've heard of ADOS. Hashtag ADOS.
Oh, yes.
Basically it's American descendants of slaves.
There you go. Okay.
And what I love about it, and what I mean is, I'll put it this way, what I love about a movement that is considering dealing with Americans who are descendants of slaves, and dealing with all the things that have happened to them, and why and what and how much that have cost us,
Yes.
whether it's monetary, whether it's in health, whether it's in property, whether it's in assets, whether it's in our inventions,
Yes.
that everything, and then being paid back for them. I think that's something I think that's something that black people should galvanize around.
Yes.
The reason I say that is a couple reasons. Is that right now somebody, and I would say in the last 10, 15, 20 years, said what kind of reparations do you think you should get? Most people would simply say this is one example, every black person in America should get $1 million. That'd be fine with me. And I think and so if there's 27 million, no, I think it's 35 million black people in America. You do the math, it might be 35 trillion, 35 billion. I don't know how to calculate 3,500 million. I don't know. But my point is that that's still not enough.
Nope. It sure is.
That should be in addition to a way to make sure that in 20 years, there's 20,000 more black doctors. There's 20,000 more black teachers. There's 20,000 more black scientists. There's 25,000 more black businesses. This should be the goal of the country that decided to be a country of many nations and decided that one of those nations would be kidnapped and forced to do 400 years worth of work for free to get the country started. And how it should be put is simply this. No, nobody living now did that. But everybody now is affected by it. Some are affected positively, some are affected negatively. And so I would be willing, I can't speak for all blacks with this, I'm willing to say, okay, you give me my $1 million, and then you work towards this plan to make sure that in 100 years from now, there's this many more black doctors, this many more black lawyers, this many more black scientists. Healthcare is arranged from those doctors to accommodate all your nations that's here. Mm-hmm. That's reparations. And anything towards that. And so when you look at health and we start saying things like, we have what happened with the coronavirus, we're affected more than anybody else. Why? Because we have these sicknesses more than everybody else. Why? Because our diets are different and we've been eating things. Why? Because we have food deserts in our inner cities. We can't get the things that we're supposed to be able to get.
That's right.
Therefore, why did we not get those things? It's very easy to figure out. I don't know if you guys followed the election when it first started, the Democratic, trying to get the Democratic. There was about 12 to 15 of them. Okay, so you tried not to. Early on, there was this woman named Marianne Williamson. Mm-hmm. Soft-spoken, kind of like you are, but she basically said that her politics would simply be doing the right thing. And doing in the right things are the interest of the people that it should be, that the right thing would be. They asked her about reparations. She said yes, she'd be for reparations, and she talked about how much money she thought it might be. It was way low to some people, but the thought was she still said yes to reparations. But she also said it would be a black committee that she would get together who would decide how much. It wouldn't be her.
Right.
But then what she started to say is that the reason why it's important for America to do that is you always want to be right. And the reason why we have racial problems is America's never decided to be right.
Right.
They never decided to apologize and pay their debt.
Right.
So it's almost like if I borrow money or if I take money from you and the judge says I owe it back to you. Restitution.
Yes.
If I owe you $1 million, if I took $1 million from you, you took me to court, and court said I owe you $1 million. If I pay you back, you have a chance to forgive me. You may not.
Right.
But you have a chance to forgive me. But if I never pay you, are you ever going to forgive me?
Never.
And how are you going to treat me when you see me?
Not like you.
And how do you think I'm going to treat you? I'm either going to avoid you,
right,
or I'm going to be more negative to you because I know you think I got something that I'm supposed to, and you took me to court. And that's really America's problem. Yes. They just won't pay their debt. Because if they paid their debt, they wouldn't have to feel guilty.
Right.
They wouldn't have to worry. They would feel a lot better, and they would not care about anything called a race card. They wouldn't have to worry about political correctness. They can do whatever they want to do. Mm-hmm. Because right now you can do whatever you want to do, except you can't treat me unfairly. Right. But you do.
They try to.
Yeah.
Every chance they get.
But if I had exactly what you had, you wouldn't have to treat me no way because I wouldn't even deal with you.
Right.
But anyway. I mean, that's just a thought. That's just a mentality that you have to sit down when you're trying to figure something out. Just try to be objective as you can, but you need to be truthful.
That's true.
And that's what I'm trying to do with my body. My body is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So I need to be truthful. And so what I'm going to try to do is accept the fact that I can't brush my teeth. I can't drink water.
Jesus.
You know, I gotta accept that. Some things you just gotta, you know, you said it was gonna be hard.
And you can't live in this house.
And I can't.
Because I'm gonna eat my
Security, can somebody stop the audience? But anyway, yes. So I mean, again, I think those are just things that, you know, we want to create thought. We want to create conversation. We want to hear solutions, and we want to hear opinions and views. And that's just one. Yours is one. And you are doing this for the community, as you said before, and all these products. We're going to finish up here with this. You're going to finish down with the pressure down, circulation up, and then we'll let you just finish talking about. Unless you want to go into the immunity FTS, we might as well, I guess, do all of them. I guess. If you want to, that's fine. I mean, I know you did it last time, and I know it was kind of self-explanatory. But there's some more other things in that you want to try to get out. We'll do that, and then after you finish with those two, so I don't forget, give all the information about your website, how to get in touch with you or your business, whether the business itself or I asked you if you were going to end up having more products at some time. Give us an estimation of when that might happen or what we may see. Brother Jet on Mike and Mike, when you were on Mike and Mike, he talked about trying to get some kind of group going, and we'll kind of continue to try to do that. And whenever that's developed, try to get it incorporated with our Facebook site and with the Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom YouTube channel. And I want to be a part of that. Testimonies. That's what I was trying. That was the word I was doing. I want to be able to give some testimony, so you guys can check back with me. Even if when I'm interviewing somebody else, I'm going to comment on it. When we're on Mike and Mike, I'm going to let people know about this. I'm not going to call it a challenge. I'm going to say my attempt to change my way of life and get a better life for myself and a better health through what Mrs. Rainbow is coaching me.
Very good.
Yeah, coach, unpaid. Unpaid coach, volunteer.
Unpaid.
You said that on. You said it over here already that you was going to help me.
Yeah.
You didn't say nothing about money. So that's unpaid coach. I'm just joking, no. But I mean, you know, I'll be letting you know as I buy your products.
Yes. And letting other people know too.
And let other people. Obviously, that's what I said every time. I let everybody else know. Hopefully, some of you watching will buy and be with me. And we'll put in the comments, or we'll get that page together and talk about how you've changed some lives, because I'm sure that's what's going to happen. All the information you said, I know you said you wasn't a doctor. I know you said you're just a new herbalist, and you're still going through classes and things like that. But what I do know is there's nothing you've told me that's been real contrary to anything I've heard from, like you said, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Stephen Gundry. There's some other doctors I've been reading on YouTube. The Plant Paradox book, I read that. A lot of other things I've seen. People talk about some consistency. Even with the COVID-19, you talked about the mucus and the inflammation. Those are no-nos. I've heard that all cancers start from inflammation. I heard that. You know, and so when you give us things like this, it's knowledge for us. It's knowledge. I love knowledge. I've always wanted to seek knowledge. And all of us want peace.
Yes, we do.
We all want peace.
Yes, we do.
And I think peace comes through knowledge. And then the more knowledge you can get, you then are able to make good decisions, which is where our wisdom comes from in our Peace, Knowledge, and Wisdom channel. And so when you put FTS on your business, I could have easily put Peace, Knowledge, Wisdom, FTS on the internet. So I know exactly what you're talking about when you say the FTS. Yes. So finish up with whatever you want to tell us, and then take us out with giving all your information, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Well, FTS, if anybody doesn't know what FTS is, it's Earth Essence FTS, Earth Essence from the source. The Most High has created everything. He's created us, and He knows what's best for us. So that's from the source. Also, I encourage everyone, I encourage you to try a lifestyle change. I encourage you to drink more water, get more exercise, get outside, that sun. Get in the sun for at least 20 minutes a day, and that will give you the vitamin D that you need for your body. That sun is the vitamin D. Believe it or not, when you've heard of older people like, my bones, when I get outside in the sun, it makes my bones feel better, and I can move around a little bit better. I'm not as stiff as I used to be. That sun really, really, really has healing virtues about it. Also, eat your vegetables, your leafy greens, your fruits. Drink plenty of water, spring water, not the tap water, spring water, distilled water. They have a reverse osmosis. It's very expensive. People put that in their the whole system in their home. And I think they can shower, with it as well. That's costly, but you want to have the best water possible for your body. Okay, so this is pressure down, circulation up. And what this does, and I did talk about it before, this really helps with your heart. It helps to strengthen your heart. It helps with your pressures. And let me read what it does.
Yes.
This product should improve circulatory function, helps normalize blood pressure, vascular blood flow, and heart function. May build your immune system and improve brain health. So you're covering the heart, you're covering your blood flow, your blood pressure. You're also covering your brain and your immune system. So circulation, pressure down, circulation up is a very good product. Very good product. And this one, while we are in this COVID-19 place of staying in the house and not going out, this is for your immune system. We did a lot of research to try and get the very best for your respiratory system. A lot of what I've been hearing with people is respiratory. They've been talking about putting them on respiratories, the ventilators.
Yes.
And then I also heard that that's not good. But what you want to do is you want to work on your respiratory system. This also helps with the immune system. It gives you everything you need. I mean, it has polyarco in it, which is good for your respiratory. Licorice root, which is good for your respiratory. It's got kelp, which is another seaweed. Which gives you the iodine and the minerals and everything that you need for your body. So this is a good product. This is one that my husband and I, we take every day, along with the bladderwrack, along with the candida free. We take that every day. We take 2 of each 3 times a day. And
is that on each bottle, the recommended? I
have the recommended dosage, but I think I want, if you purchase it, let's talk. I want to talk about where you are, and maybe I can up the dosage. Sometimes people need a little bit more than less. I have had some people say, I'm going to just take 1 a day, and then they don't feel anything because they need more of it. And it's food. These are herbs. It's food.
It's not dietary supplements, but it's food.
It's food. These are, herbs like, think of turmeric, garlic.
Right.
I use garlic